Hi there, happy hump day and welcome to Wednesday. I'm often asked by people, what are the things that you need to do to be successful? What are the ingredients required to accelerate your career growth? Now, there are people who have written books and books on topics like this, but you can also distill it down to a couple of key things. For me, I've distilled it down to what I see as the 8 golden rules. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't other things that are important, but here are some that, from my perspective and from the experience that I've had through my career, I've seen as absolutely invaluable. So, here we go. Number 1, get planning. It's really important to sit down each year, spend time working out where are you now with your career? Where is it that you want to get to? What's the gap between your current achievements, your current progress, and where it is you want to get to? It's through planning and through reflection that you can work through what your next steps will be. Give yourself time to do this. Number 2, be ready to adapt. Adaptation is critical. Now, we hear so much about how the world of work is changing, how the world around us is changing, and that is absolutely true. But that change won't stop because the change is constant. The key thing for you is to work through, what do these changes mean for me at a personal level, at a professional level? How's my industry changing? How is my role or profession changing? You want to be one step ahead so that you can sit back and then work through, what does this mean for what I'm currently doing and what I could be doing in the future? You're getting yourself positioned and really ready to respond to those changes rather than feeling like you need to scramble to catch up. Number 3, build your value. Everyone brings specific skills, value to the work that they do. If you think about it, that's why you get hired. You turn up to work and you do things. By doing the things that you do, you are delivering value either to your organization, to clients, to customers. You need to keep building that value because what's valued changes over time. So know your value. You want to be able to articulate that value because that's what gets you hired. You need to be able to deliver that value when you're doing your job. And you need to recognize how and when you need to refine and shift and change that value. Number 4, fall in love with learning. If you think about what I've just shared in the prior 2 tips, they all require learning. You can't adapt if you don't learn. You can't share and build your value if you don't learn. Learning is critical. And the learning that you do needs to be both broad and deep. Because it's not just about learning technical skills. It's learning what, often we refer to as soft skills, which can be such a misnomer because those softer skills are often far harder to really grasp and be able to use effectively. You need to look at the competencies like problem solving, creativity, critical thinking. You need to know and understand yourself. What's your level of EQ? What's your level of self-awareness? The learning that you undertake is going to continue to enable you to grow your career. Number 5, become the expert. What is it that you want to be the go-to expert at? We pay more for experts. Always have, always will. When you're an expert, you're known for something. People seek you out. The work finds you. Organizations find you. That expertise, once again, is something that you need to hone, refine over time. Next one, number 6, get connected. You want to build a profile where you are well connected with people. You want a network where you're known for something. And in that network, it's not just about taking, it's about giving, sharing ideas, sharing knowledge. Ask yourself, how can I help a connection or a colleague? Have I got knowledge that I could share with them? Do I only know people from a certain category or a certain industry? Because the broader and the deeper that your network is, that exposes you to different sectors. It elevates opportunities. It helps you become aware of things that you may not be aware of. Next one, number 7, gather the evidence. Keep a track of what you've done, what you've achieved. Make sure where you're keeping a track of it, whether you're using OneNote or Evernote or even just a Word document or a folder. You want an evidence, a portfolio of all your achievements so that you can showcase your work. Remember what you've done. Now that might sound ridiculous, but when you've had a long career, sometimes you can forget some of the amazing things that you've done through your career. It's a portfolio of testimonials, of feedback from people. All of those things can help you when you think about what comes next and landing what comes next. And lastly, and this one's been left to last because in some respects it can be the hardest, you need to back yourself. And this means that you don't undersell yourself, but you also don't oversell yourself. Don't claim work that you haven't done. You don't want to oversell yourself and then end up in a role that you can't deliver on. But you do need to back yourself, back your reputation, back your brand. Be willing to take a risk. Be willing to do the hard work. Acknowledge the effort of others, but also acknowledge the effort that you've put into things as well. And when you're doing all of this, putting all of those 8 golden rules into practice, remember the wise words of the philosopher and writer Ayn Rand, who said, "The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who's going to stop me." It's a question for you. Who's stopping you? Are you stopping yourself? Are you listening to the advice of other people around you that aren't helpful? It's your career. It's your choice. Take care. I'll see you next week.